Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom. Doing a mic check. There we go. Con. We good.
Oh yeah, the audio's working. Okay, con. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Double honors to our apostles and elders. Salutations to all our fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, and those few aquatic that are actually listening and learning. Right, we're the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago, an honored guest, and we just gonna go right into this lesson, man, because we're coming up on serious times. There's a video that I reposted. Matter of fact, somebody get Habakkuk 2 and 6 real quick and read it.
Okay.
While I find this video, and I'm gonna send it to you. You can play this video.
You want it now?
Baba Kashab.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Shall they?
To verse 2, brother.
Okay. This is Habakkuk 2 and 2. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Right, and see now the visions are speaking, and they're not speaking, they're screaming, they're yelling at you. All right, they're lifting up, the visions are lifting up their voices, like a trumpet. Okay, that's how strong the visions are. All right, you got a precept, brother?
For the title, but also
okay.
For the video.
Okay, Khan. Did you get that video yet, brother?
You texted him?
Yeah, I did, bro.
Okay, take a second.
Finish this verse 3.
Go ahead and finish it, bro.
So, verse 3 again, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And that's the time we're in, of the time where it's not tarrying. All the visions are, especially the main determination of the Most High God, which is to have a kingdom, a righteous kingdom that's ruled in righteousness by his son Yahushua and the chosen children, the Israelites. And so here it is, all these things are happening, all right, that's the thing that's ultimately about to happen.
Can I back you up one?
Yeah.
This is Daniel 9. I'm gonna start at verse 11, and I'm gonna read through it. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. So we got put into the curses because we sinned. Clearly that happened, right? The Lord said it happened. He hath confirmed his words. He spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil under the whole heaven hath not been done. That's twisting me up. Under the whole heaven have not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem.
That's right.
So the point was the fact that the Lord said it, he confirmed his words. That's what it means when it says these things shall speak. So as we got put under the curses, these things will come upon you heathens, man.
That's it.
All right, it says in Jeremiah 25, shall they that been called by name be punished, you all together be unpunished? So it's written that these curses will come upon you. So these things happen to us. It's happened. You're going to get it, man. The prophecies will speak at the end. The Lord has confirmed his word.
That's it. And it's
going to happen.
That's right. It's going to come to you, the kingdom being translated to another.
Yeah.
All that transition period.
Yeah, the martial law, the economic collapse, the famine.
Yep.
Yeah. That's it. All right. So, did you want me to play the video?
Yeah, go ahead right here, brother.
All right, come. With the last one you sent me first.
The last one, then we'll go into the
first one.
Because that's going to lead to the first one.
Okay, no worries.
You just listen to him speak. And then somebody can look up this Operation Lockstep, too. All right. And event 201 is definitely something that we can't talk about it too much. Got to be careful because they'll hit the video on that. But just know that event 201 was an event that took place right before this whole thing kicked off. Event 201 was an operation that was headed up by the Bill Melinda Gates organization, and they were working with the WHO and other things and other entities, and it was about what do you call it when you're doing a pretend thing?
Mock exercise.
Mock or exercise in the event that the scenario that a simulation. Thank you. It was a simulation done on how they would react worldwide if there was a worldwide pandemic, and then right after that, because that was in August. That was in, I think, if I'm not mistaken, event 201 took place in November or either September or November of 2019, and then the same event that they were practicing for happened for real in January, a month later, or a couple, So there you go.
That goes, and I never mentioned the meme earlier, but it's spirit. The meme, it was like a dude doing a face, like a weird face, like, now you believe, and it said, when you look at your conspiracy theorist friend, and I have to admit that he's been right all along. That was an RT article, I believe it was RT. He was a government official. He just said that the reason why shit won't go back to normal is because of the unwatered. They mentioned the article, they mentioned the conspiracy theory. They said all these conspiracy theories floating around, and then you double down on this, basically only confirms what they've been saying.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. They call it conspiracy theory. I'm looking at all the names that make a mockery of it, and they putting all this stuff. But the fact is everything that these conspiracies are saying is actually happening real time. Just saying. And we're not going to name anything or say any names or anything. Keeping it very general. But all I'm saying is that when you were looking at the screen and you were looking at the names that they were calling it, and basically saying this is a conspiracy theory about so and so, so and so. This is a conspiracy theory. Fact check on this conspiracy theory, and then when you look into the information, that's exactly what's happening.
Yep.
I mean, but that's
that means it's viral.
Yep.
All right. Hey, they even showed you in Men in Black, man, which was a make-believe movie. But when he was doing all his investigative work, what did he go to? He went straight to the Inquirer, to the trash magazines. What do they call those magazines? There's a name for them.
What the hell? Oh, it's tabloid.
It's a tabloid magazine. He was like, man, he said tabloid magazines, and then he just gave him a look like that's what basically what that meant in that particular movie is that you can trust the tabloids over the mainstream. Because what he said, what's in the tabloids really should be on the evening news, but they're not. They're putting it in the tabloids.
Yeah.
And so he's doing his research in the tabloids, and then he's going hunting down and catching things. All right? But he couldn't do that using the mainstream media, MSM, because MSM is controlled propaganda. It basically it's not information. It's indoctrination.
Yeah.
Mainstream media, MSM is indoctrinating you. They're forcing you to think a certain way. It's like doing jiu-jitsu, and you do a certain grip and a certain move to get a certain response out of the person. The most you can predict what they're gonna do by the way you grab them, and so you're already ready to counter them because you already know what they have to do to get away or control you. So it's a setup, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. All right, you ready for it? Ready for it? Right. He said, look up, one of the brothers said, look up Clave X. That's the host, John Hopkins.
Oh, John Hopkins, yeah.
For health security is hosting the Clave X pandemic tabletop exercise. That's back in 2018. And Clave X simulation reveals the United States is not prepared, basically, for the whole same premise. But I'll look at that in a minute, but I'm going to play this for you.
Anybody watching this has been paying attention. The season's going on. Our insolvent, they're about to go bankrupt. We don't.
And before you play it, one last thing. Now that he said that, I set out the gate. And, I didn't know which angle that they were going to go. But one thing that I did know is that this whole thing that we're going through was to hide what's going on now with the crash of the dollar. All right, I said it and I stuck to it and I believe it, and it's exactly what it is. What you're experiencing is that finally the dollar is revealing itself to be weak and worthless.
Right.
And they could not just let the dollar fall, because if they just let it crash, then it was evident that they just fucked up everything like they always do. Now they have something to blame it on. Well, it's because of this and because of that and because of the non-compliers and blah, 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 blah. All right? But the fact is that you would remember before this thing went global, you were already in the midst of a retail apocalypse and all these different bubbles that were about to burst. Housing, cars, student loans, credit card bubble, everything's at an all-time high. Suicide at an all-time high. You had 40 million Edomites that died from opioid overdoses over the last 20 years. So America was getting hit with a lot of stuff, all at the same time, and the dollar was, and the fact that all these places were closing up, retail after retail after retail was shutting down. 100-year-old companies, 50-year-old countries, 75-year-old companies that had hundreds of stores, thousands of stores, and all of a sudden they were just going under.
And countries were not needing the American dollar anymore because the BRICS and whatnot had set up things in reserve and gold in the background where they didn't need the American dollar, so they had no place to go with the dollar that they had. So they had to bring it back somewhere.
Well, when companies stop using, and corporations, countries start putting their money elsewhere, that money's going to come right back to the United States.
Yeah,
and that's going to cause hyperinflation.
Yeah, around 2013 or 12, Russia and China began trading with each other with their own currency.
Right.
And so that build up and all the other nations that have joined unto them and what they're doing. And yeah, because I thought that we would get here a lot sooner. I didn't know when China and Russia announced that they would no longer be dealing in American currency and they started dealing with each other in their own. I thought it was going to be a lot sooner. None of us would count no quantitative easing.
Right.
All right, and then it's what the Lord wanted to do. Clearly, the other camps have sprung up since then. A lot. Right, it was still a lot that needed to be done. All right.
I got a reset for you.
No, I was saying that to prove that the dollar's done, look at how everybody is going into these cryptocurrencies. Right now, you got a lot of cryptocurrencies popping up. Now they talking about Shibu and all these other different currencies. Right, but they trying to have their money elsewhere. So when the dollar crashes, they still have something.
Right, and none of it's going to work because now the Federal Reserve now has its own digital currency. So it's a wrap on all others, that's what's going to cause the war.
People are taking out loans to get digital currency. All it takes is a dip, and you can't pay your loan back. Everything folds. USDs, crypto, all that shit. This place is through. I got this second Ezra 16. The part is 21. I'm starting 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for a mimic. So the Lord's been plaguing this world for a long time to give you a chance to repent, to amend, to change. But for all these things, they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. They forget about it. Remember they let her in. Right. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be a good case. That's what the gospel mentioned. He mentioned that the retail apocalypse, the bubble, all right, from car bubble, housing bubble, the debt bubble, all this is all
used car established.
Yeah,
what shit is that?
Right. People not even able to buy used cars.
The used cars prices are going up and up now.
But the new cars are actually going down too, because I just was driving when I was going to Indianapolis. They sell the F-150s for $20,000.
Well, they're trying to get rid of it.
They're trying to get rid of it.
See, brand
new F-150s for $20,000.
Victuals shall be so good cheap.
Yeah,
People think they
that's the spirit. That's the prophecy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it says, and even then, shall evils grow upon earth. So it's been years this has been increasing. Although when Russia and China start doing that, the two, especially China, the biggest buyer of American debt, they start doing that. This place will come right away because America wants to ease everything. Didn't let the inflation increase, but evils kept growing. All right, so now what? When this shit finally hit, it's going to explode on all levels. That's Isaiah 47. These things shall come upon thee. There's perfection thereof. Even then shall evils grow up on earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So this shit crazy. People are going to be lost, man.
And then I can't wait till they just the despair. The amount of suicides that day is going to be incredible, man. I can only imagine. But bring the scripture out and we're going to let this video play.
It's Isaiah 1 and 5. Talking on what you were just saying. It says, why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. Talking about Israel. But that's the judgment the Lord set it out. Now, ultimately, he's about to bring it into his own head with his plans, man.
Well, the curses go pass anyway, like you said. So Israel's caught in the middle of it, but the curses start passing over to the Edomites and the rest of the nations all at the same time. So we kind of done with it, used to it, but the rest of the world is like saying, what the fuck? This is what they were dealing with? Yeah, this is what we were dealing with. It was back to what you said, though.
They said that Jeremiah, the 9th chapter, where it says that I will punish the circumcised with the uncircumcised. 2/3 of Israel was with the rest of these nations, like you said. It says curses falling on the other nations as well. When the time of judgment.
Okay, I'm play the video.
Been paying attention, sees what's going on. There's a lot of ships out in the ocean right now not getting pulled in. Our government's insolvent. They're about to go bankrupt. We don't have an economy to speak of. People are getting fired en masse. Are you guys seeing what's going on here yet?
And unemployment is going up because people ain't trying to work. There's a lot of people. Every little mall I pass, every store I go to, and when I went to the mall to get my daughter some stuff, and I went inside, and the cashier's like, and I said, "Oh, y'all hiring? Oh, yes, we're hiring the police. If you want to come pass these out to people, please." Everybody begging. They trying to prepare for the Christmas season and all this other shit. But people so-called hype.
That heathen Kamala Harris is telling everybody to buy for Christmas right now, saying they should have bought it, did it last month. Go ahead,
We're getting shut down. Just like I said, when I did TikTok, they got banned. They're shutting us down. They're degrading us. They're going to starve us. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not, but if you haven't been prepping, it's probably too late for you. I'm just going to be honest with you, because you got about a month at most. I really think that's about what we have left on the shelves at best. But none of the ships are getting delivered. The dollar bill got dropped as the world's reserve currency. We're done. We're going to be turning into a third world country like Venezuela. You guys think this is a joke? It could never happen. It's happening as we speak. As soon as that happens, hyperinflation is going to set in. Probably this winter. I hope you guys got yourself some silver and some Bitcoin, or just something. Bullets, guns, food, water, firewood. The very minimum. It's going to get ugly, and it's going to start this winter, and it's going to last for a while. Don't say I didn't warn anybody. And regardless of what all you lefties talking shit, so you're wrong. I hope I am wrong. I pray to God I'm wrong about this. But you know what? I haven't been. I've been right about everything the last fucking 10 years. I called this shit years ago. See what you guys got to understand it.
That's what Benji said. That friend, he's that friend.
Right.
Now his other friends are looking at him like, with that dumb look on their face. You were right. When they had to put their head down, damn, bro. We thought you was a little out there, but damn, you were right. That's what's happening.
These elite people, the ones that are pulling all the strings, that are doing all this shit to us, they write about this stuff. They put out books, pamphlets, and documents, and they publish it. And you can read their plans, what they plan on doing. It's not a secret. Google this, Operation Lockstep. It's right on the internet. It's not bullshit. It was written about 10 years ago. If you really want to know what's going to happen next, just read that. And then while you're at it, Google the document SPARS Pandemic by Johns Hopkins University. There's another one. They're going to tell you exactly what's coming next. and then Google Event 201, put on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and then come back to me and tell me if I'm wrong. In order for this Green New fucking bullshit to happen, Green New Deal, they gotta get rid of the old system. So we're going to be facing some sort of collapse. And
Stop
from
right
the
there.
ruin,
Somebody get Revelation 13 and 6. This is when they get rid of all roads lead to the MOTB, man. Lead to the Marcus Aurelius. And when you read it, refer to it as that Papa Shop.
Revelation 13 and 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, goes to God. You blaspheme.
13:16, brother.
Oh, 13, 16. Okay, 13, 16. Revelation 13 and 16.
And he did open his mouth and blaspheme against the Most High. That's true. Go ahead.
Okay, Revelation 13, 16. And he called us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand
Marcus Aurelius, brother.
or their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
Marcus Aurelius.
Aurelius.
Mark Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius.
Aurelius.
Either have the Marcus Aurelius.
My bad. The Marcus Aurelius, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Con, brother. You know, and that's what it's all leading up to. Everything's leading up to that. All roads, leading up to it. Yeah, how you gonna fail the test when you give an answer 3 times? What's up? Come on, brother. Anybody got something?
I got
these
something.
people are going to take control of the remaining parts of society, and a lot of people are going to die in the process. Their goal is to reduce humanity by 90% roughly by the year 2030. And if you take COVID-19 was made in the lab and released, you're right, and guess what? They got hundreds more of them ready to go.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to continue this on a part 2 and talk more about how the people in the city are worse off than the people in the rural areas.
The people in the cities are worse off than the people in the rural areas. And then Murph turned me on to that movie Blackout, where all the people leaving the city running to the rural areas, because guess what? The people in the rural areas aren't better off. They just gonna be preserved a little bit longer, and then it's gonna go crazy out there because everyone's coming at them. All right, and mostly your own neighbors.
That's it.
All right.
And these heathens, they tell everybody everything they got. You know what I'm saying? Oh, boy, look, hey, look at the bunker I have. You know, I got the bunker. Hey, see, hey, Bill, look at back here. See, I can stay down here for like fucking 5 years.
Doomsday prep.
Is that?
Your neighbors know your face.
Yes.
You ain't got to tell us shit. Your neighbors know.
Right.
That's literally what's the difference.
Yes. And in that movie, man, everybody was heading, you know, to the birds, man. And then you have that convoy of convicts that got loose, you know, and they were on the road, and here come the mother and daughter, you know, and what they do to the mother and daughter, they bang their ass out, all right, literally, all right, and then put bullets in them and took their car and went to the birds in their car.
It was the next verse in that 2 Corinthians 16, verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine,
That's it.
and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
That's it. Ain't no escape. That's somebody get the running from the tiger, the bear.
Crap all you want to, like the other doctor said. What's the name of the movie again?
Blackout.
Blackout. Hey,
Yeah,
you're gonna get caught by the sword. There ain't no escape. Oh, in fact, it's like
that movie, The Road.
This way right here.
They're the truth.
That movie, The Road. That scene when him and his son found that bunker on that farm, you know, that underground bunker.
Yeah.
The people who set up that bunker,
It was
obviously they were dead. They didn't make it.
It was over.
Right? Because you're right. Because whatever happened, they set up. They prepared. They were smart about it. Because they opened that bunker and they clicked on it. Had power. It had food, water, canned goods, candy, alcohol,
the whole night.
water, pop. They had everything in there. Except for the people that was the people that was meant to
set it up.
That's right. See, that's the reason why we tell brothers, man, it's okay. The scriptures say if the strong man knew that his house was going to get broken into, he would have been prepared. He would have watched. I mean, as soon as they would have tried to creep in, he would have met their ass and say, "Nice try, nigga." All right. So it's okay to be prepared, but that's not going to save you. Faith and the spirit of the power of Yahweh is going to save you. So if you know this is going to happen, you're a man of the Lord. Yeah, grab you some extra food. Make sure you have some water on deck, things that you might need. But our faith is in Yahweh Shemel. We don't rely on that shit.
In Yahweh Shem Shah.
That's it.
You know, it wouldn't hurt at all. I'm not telling anyone not to buy some extra food, some extra rice, some extra beans, some extra, buy some extra. Every time you go out, buy a couple things of water just to put them away. That's it's fine. You know that you open the closet and you got water from the ceiling to the floor.
Why?
Fine, but don't think that that's going to save you.
That's it.
Job 27:17. He may prepare it, but the just shall put it on.
And that's what it is. So we want y'all to do that. That's the reason. Let it be shared, man, because how about this out, man? We gonna go through these privileged gated places like the barbarian wine.
That's
and
right.
they got wine from the floor to the ceiling, man.
And this
behind glass, closed doors, it's refrigerated. Like you in a damn, in the store somewhere.
Perfect temperature, so the tan is not destroyed.
I got two. This is Lamentations 4:8. Their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick. Anybody who knows people who start going into a famine, you start seeing them skin and bones, right? That's that famine. Now this is the result of that.
They get skinny and they belly swell.
Yep. And that was happening over in East India. There's a whole big group of population that's all little East Indians that look like the Ethiopian kids. This shit is starting to get, it's already here. The problem is Americans are only looking at America and they looking at the twerking videos. They're looking at goddammit, Let's Go Brandon videos.
Mukbangs.
You know what I'm saying?
It's endless folly. I can't turn on my phone
without seeing
and go on
bullshit.
YouTube without seeing some rhythmless heathen, doing some stupid shit, trying to shake her titties.
Everybody got a
or the
fucking
nigga
voice.
woman making it clap.
Yes. And everybody got a goddamn voice and they ain't saying shit. Alright? This is they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with the hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children.
You know what? You can pause it right there. Oh, they go to that video and they're gonna bring it out.
Perfect.
Because for those of you who haven't seen it, they are very aware that there's cannibalism coming, and the school teachers are teaching classes on and going to the students on how we might deal with it when it comes. Oh, stroll back down a little bit. There you go. Eating babies. Georgia High School has teens solve hunger with cannibalism. So this is what the high school seniors came up with. Mm-hmm. All right? Who do you think got it though?
Shoot right there.
You can play the video or just read it, either way.
We don't play all of it, but
yeah. New American cannibals.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Conversations That Matter. I'm your host, Alex Newman, and just when you thought the government indoctrination centers could not possibly sink any lower, I mean, it's not enough that they're teaching our kids to hate God, to hate their parents, to hate their families, to hate their country. Now they're teaching them the wonders of cannibalism. And you think I'm kidding. You think I'm just being facetious. I'm not. We have a very special guest with us to talk about this scandal. Happened in a school in Georgia, and she's going to break it down for us. But it is so sick. So today we have with us Rhonda Thomas, very special guest. She's a friend of mine. She's the founder and president of Truth in Education. She's been working very closely with legislators in Georgia, dealing with education, this crazy racist trash, also known as critical race theory. She's been doing this for decades.
They don't like critical race historical facts. All right? They call it, so basically, any information that reveals heinous acts, the shameful spewing, they call it, we'll bring it out there, we'll never continue to play. But it's not theory, it's historical evidences and facts that you benefited from and that you still are benefiting from, these, which will lead into a whole nother lesson. But nevertheless, just to throw that out there, he said it's bad enough. That basically, it's bad enough to tell them the truth about the wicked shit that all our forefathers did, and how we benefited from it.
That's right.
That's bad. He might as well have just said it.
That's right.
Because that's when they complain about critical race theory.
That's
exactly what they're saying.
Kids in Georgia, working through the legislature, lobbying, trying to get good things passed and bad things stopped. She's also a member of the Protect Child Health Coalition. They're having a big conference up in Ohio next weekend. So Rhonda and I will both be there. But so much going on, guys. And so I want to introduce you to Rhonda. She's actually a returning guest. But Rhonda, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And we've gotten some emails about this as well. But tell us what happened in this school in Georgia with this grotesque lesson.
Well, Alex, I do want to give credit to Protect Student Health Georgia because they were the ones that received this first and shared it with us. So I want to make sure that. But very excited that they shared it with us, Truth in Education. But this was actually supposed to be satire. Can you imagine using cannibalism as satire for high school students? So there's a school, Richmond Hill High School.
And that's something that Esau does a lot, try to hide truth through satire. He plays games, he do it through his comedy shows, his TV shows, but he be telling you his whole diabolical fucking, what we're trying to do today, Brain, you know what I'm saying? Trying to take over the world, you know what I'm saying? They'll tell you.
That movie, The Day Will Come.
Huh?
The director said that, yeah, it's just satire, but the whole thing was them showing you what they planned on doing to the Israelites. That Jimmy Kimmel, John Kerry, walkout where he was throwing up the pyramid and sticking his tongue in there.
You know what Kerry?
The whole deal.
Jim Carrey got exposing the
Yeah, he went through a whole
even though he
thing.
invited it.
And what y'all talking about, y'all don't know.
You know, the Lord put that Psalm 64 and 8 spirit on people, man.
Yep.
They can't help it.
Yep.
You know, go ahead, brother.
School in Georgia. They wanted these students to create a business model that basically raising and eating human babies to solve the world hunger problem. And so they actually had to come up with a plan for mass production, distribution, and target market. So this came to light because some of the students got very upset, and so a parent actually submitted this. But this was being taught as satire again in an English class. This was an example.
You can't teach satire in an English class as if that's Esau, bro. That's Esau.
You know what it sounds like?
They dead serious with this.
Yes, come on, bro.
It's like the movie The Endgame, right? In The Endgame, they made it seem like that it was just a simulation, that he wasn't actually fighting the aliens, but really he was really fighting the aliens. So it's like they trying to get these students to come up with a good plan to see what would be a good way to harvest and get the, like brainstorming.
No. What they're doing is they're hiding this agenda behind young adults, behind high school seniors, behind high school kids.
They're prepping.
So they're prepping them for it, but they're also hiding it because this is a way that they can do it. It's just satire. All right? But it's right. But
We're joking.
But then you find out, right, it's just satire. But then you find out that there's millions of dollars of research money behind it, big huge companies, et cetera, and then it's going to get expanded to something for real.
Yeah, it was a famous Edomite chick that said it. I don't know if it was Katy Perry or another one. She said it recently. That'd be the solution.
Well, and it's funny because one of her biggest hits was all about cannibalism, and I didn't even know it until I saw the video. When she was talking about taking part of my body, I didn't realize that she was on some Sweeney Todd shit. At the end of the video, she was all chopped up and into a pie.
And it's been coming in a lot of movies. The gentleman's what's the gentleman, the spy movie with Kingsman. Yeah, the Kingsman. Yeah, the gentleman. My bad. The Kingsman. Right. But they all wicked shit.
Yeah, when the dude failed his mission, and she, threw him in the meat grinder, and then they had his boy eat him. That was his sacrifice.
But we had to say
the best meat is human meat.
and we had to say it for years.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, man.
But you have been saying for years now how there's not enough cows for all the burgers that these people think they get a chance to eat.
Oh yeah. That's right. Which is one of the reasons why I stopped eating so much red meat, and I basically stopped fucking with hamburgers because it's just basic numbers, man. There is not enough cows in America to furnish all these burger places with beef for their meat. Okay. So that means that the meat is something. It's part beef or it's something else, and then we all heard Rabbi Finkelstein on the radio talk show laughing about it, you know, and how he's been telling them for years what they've been doing.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you got satire being taught in schools.
Yeah, when you got the FDA saying if you don't, there's a certain percentage of beef, and then you can call it beef. He said you put one blueberry in the blueberry mix, and they can sell the whole boxes of blueberry mix for as in real with fresh blueberries.
It's just like you go buy some fruit snacks, and then when you look at it, you really look at it, it says 10% fruit. So basically, you just bought some candy that they threw some abstract from a couple blueberries and raspberries in it. You think, oh yeah, I'm eating healthy. Oh shit, I'm just eating candy.
Right.
I mean blueberry and raspberry flavored candy.
Yeah,
Chemicals signed up on that thing talking about that horses and whatnot was now being mixed in with people. So that was a while back when Obama had did that shit. So
Lucky you eat horse.
well, the Lord said we don't
Yeah,
eat
if
our
you
bread
lucky,
defiled.
how you eat, you know, mess around, do Ammon and Moab, or you have to eat dog, and everything else.
Human
But
too.
let's let it play a little bit more, then we're gonna go into the scriptures.
Because the students were so upset, we found out about it, but we really want to make sure that parents are aware that this is trying to normalize cannibalism. We're seeing it in Hollywood, right, with the Katy Perry and the Netflix movie they did with Madonna and Drew Barrymore. So there's a lot going on. But they actually went through step by step. Let me tell you what they had. This is not part of the curriculum. We believe a teacher actually brought this in. But one of the first things that they start with is, when you first give us your child that you unfortunately cannot keep, we will take them from you. Do not be worried. Your baby is in good hands. To first care for your child, we will give them a vaccine.
Recent news, you know, America's trying to do like China. You're going to limit a certain amount of children.
So they're gonna take the baby.
A
And
representative.
then what's happening to all these small children on the border that disappeared? Nobody's talking about that. And then what about all the women who were pregnant coming over the border who had children inside of these internment places where they are? Nobody's talking about where are these people at?
What about the 60-something thousand missing so-called black and brown teenagers?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
That's exactly what I'm talking about. People coming in south of the border, from south of the border. You know, exactly.
But this is but it's also happening in the hood. That's what I was.
Oh yeah. You know, our people disappear all day, every day, and then you have that one little Edomite disappeared.
As a man,
she was in the news for like 3 weeks.
And then they still found her dead ass. And yeah, you know, if you're going cross country with the Edomite, that's what you get. You know, you said something wrong, and he got pissed off and threw your ass in the ravine. Yeah, a whole bunch of people now coming back. That's a lot happening. And they do the autopsy and say, wait a minute, how is he dead? And then his shit moved. It was just like the dude in Valdeska. You know what I'm saying? That was wrapped up in that gym thing, man.
Oh, yeah, they just figured that out.
Yeah.
Her again in an English class. This was an example. So because the students were so upset, we found out about it, but we really want to make sure that parents are aware that this is trying to normalize cannibalism. We're seeing it in Hollywood, right, with the Katy Perry and the Netflix movie they did with Madonna and Drew Barrymore. So there's a lot going on. But they actually went through step by step. Let me tell you what they had. This is not part of the curriculum. We believe a teacher actually brought this in. But one of the first things that they start with is, when you first give us your child that you unfortunately cannot keep, we will take them from you. Do not be worried. Your baby is in good hands. To first care for your child, we will give them a vaccine. Keep them safe from for some reason, they put panorama. After that, they usually get very tired from the shot. They will get sick and will not wake up. Can you believe this? So when this happens, we have a small funeral. And after that, we, in capital letters, we feast. Since the child has passed, we don't need to take up any more land for cemeteries, so we slap them on the grill and cook their flesh and make delicious hamburgers. They taste just like the real thing. Oh my gosh. Then they go into their business plan of mass production. For mass production, we would encourage the U.S. government to create a business negotiation with China about trying to reduce their population by donating children to our government. We also take all children from organizations, including foster care.
So they gonna call it the Chinese
are-
children Asian food? This is some bullshit, man.
What happened to Chinese for dinner? Hey, the Chinese said remove the spoon. Now they gonna be here.
Maybe that would be fitting because that's what they do to the dogs and cats and rats and shit.
This is what they call kung fu movies. You see cannibalism and shit. And then these people wait.
Just taking this to the extreme. And it says the production is once they receive these babies, Alex, the meat is cured and dried, similar to that of beef jerky, so that it doesn't spoil and is preserved longer. And then they refer to having a Dahmer's mini camp. You are what you eat. And the target market for this is low income, poverty areas and countries.
So niggas, this is what Esau Edom wants you to know, that you are like food.
So you're the target, man.
You like food. You know when you watch the cartoon and the guy was so hungry and they start looking at the person and there's a hot dog or
That was
T-bone.
That was an old Looney Tunes cartoon.
Bunny and the little chicken on the damn wrap in the water. So that's the cheese right there.
Right. But see that's that also that predictive programming, and it's the scriptures, man. This is to pick up in Lamentations 4. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. The Lord said this is gonna happen. They were the meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. He said that was your meat, that was your food, that was your consumption. All right. The Lord has accomplished His fury. He has poured out His fierce anger, and has kindled a fire in Zion, and have devoured the foundations thereof. One more, Isaiah 9:20. He shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry. He shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. All right. When it gets down to it, it's gonna be the hunger is gonna be real, man. That's like they had in the movie The Hunger Games.
Not only that, the movie Snowpiercer. And to keep them from and that's why all the old people, if you notice, all the older people had one leg, or they had a one leg, one arm, and they had metal things and things like that, because the older people would donate their arms and their legs to stop the people from eating the babies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's why all the old people were hobbling around. They were like, "Fuck it, I'm old here. Don't eat the baby. Here, take my arm." And the guy would give his arm so that they would save the child. And the guy and the apex of the movie is the scene when the guy makes it all the way to the front and he's talking to the top guy, and before he takes him down.
Yep.
And he that scene is legendary, man. He says what I hate about myself, and he said I know what human flesh tastes like, and he said you know what I hate even more than that. I know that babies taste the best.
Wow.
So this, come on, man.
That whole adrenochrome shit, drinking the blood. All this is coming out. The Esau, you exposed, man. You're a sick motherfucker, man.
And to make it even more sicker, that this famine is a forced famine. Right? This famine is a planned famine. This famine is something that they pushed. It didn't have to be like this. They actually.
I just said that, brother. Look. You had a lot of blues with more than a couple 100,000 people.
Yeah.
You had all sorts of gatherings. You done had marathons. You done had Super Bowls and ball games and all these gatherings during the time of the most dangerous, contamination, almost contagious thing the world has ever seen. But at this time, and all the time, and mind you, during all that time, all the ports were operating just fine. Everybody wearing that mask and doing whatever, and the ports were operating just fine. Now all of a sudden, you got to shut down the ports to protect everyone, and you're gonna blame it on the people who didn't or don't want to comply. Are you fucking serious? And you think that the debt is about to go up, man?
They got the farmers getting ready to raise livestock.
You got farmers. Yes, sir, brother.
Correct, the most houses.
You got farmers destroying the livestock and their animals and their crops.
With people with oil.
This is planned.
This is Ephesians 5. I'm going to get to point 12. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. For all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. Whatsoever doth make manifest is light. So this is our job. You know, what the shit we talking about, what they doing in secret is madness. It's like unbelievable.
Our job is to shine the light on the darkness, man.
Shit.
You look. You gotta.
That's called it.
Yeah, you just gotta put the light on them, man. And that's hey, I was just saying the other day, man, how majority of wicked acts are done in the dark because people think they can't see them. All right, they think that they can't see them, man. All right.
Hey, yeah, there you go. You think it's some mad. And you're like, oh, yo, brother's tripping. They doing all this? Hey, look, man, the shit gets weird. Hey, what did it say? French.
You got it, brother.
This is Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest.
Right. So everything Esau tried to, sweep under the rug, that he tried to push behind the door, and he tried to shove up in his closet and close it and make the place look presentable. As soon as you open the door to hang up your coat, you get hit on the wall. Right. It's all his trash come out, man.
And really all of this happening because he knows his time up.
Yes.
So really he fucking pissed off, man. And he like, you know what? We're gonna send this world into chaos, man. Alright, since we know it's almost over, hey, what's that, Revelation?
And if I can't have it, nobody can.
Right.
A couple years back, I think it was about 5 years back, there was a cop whose wife filed for divorce, and he got the divorce papers and the child support papers all on the same day. And he went home and put two in her head, man, right in her face.
Yeah.
Right? Then he put bullets in the kids, and then he put one in himself, man. And that's what he did, man. Because he was like, look, ain't nobody else gonna. He was like, ain't nobody gonna be keeping you down in this house that I'm paying for. Right. And you gonna have another dude up in here. My kids calling him daddy. He popping you, getting my goodies. You spending you taking out my money and my pension from me. So he was like, fuck that. If you're right, he got rid of her ass. He said, fuck it, then we all die. And that's basically what he did. And Esau has that mindset that if I can't have it, nobody can. And he's really trying to he's destroying the world, man.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and 62. Yea, the spirit of almighty power, which made all things and searching out all hidden things and the secrets of the earth. Surely he knoweth your inventions and what ye think in your heart, even them that sin and would hide their sin.
And part of his policy, somebody get the Daniel's 8:25. It's those secret councils you're talking about, these secret inventions, man. And Esau's technology is harmful. At first glance, it seems like it's this wonderful new invention. But what it does to the ecosystem, what it does to the body, what it does to the water, the air, the quality of life, it just for a little bit of ease, of aid. All right, to make life easier, you're destroying life.
I got one to back up this. Okay, 64. Therefore hath the Lord exactly searched out all your works, and he will put you all to shame. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be embarrassed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers.
Ooh, that's beautiful. Read it again. His own sins. And a good time to bring out that shameful spirit in Habakkuk 2:16.
Okay. 65. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day.
Right, and that's another reason why that's so upset with critical historical, critical race historical facts. I like to call it. And I have a whole channel called that shit. All right, because this critical race theory. Oh hell no, critical race factual history, man. All right, and so anytime you bring out what they're doing wrong or show them what they're doing wrong, they get upset, man. All right. Hey, then nobody. Hey, look. But you know what? I guess it's in your nature, man. Because hey, look, man. Abel knew that he was supposed to sacrifice an animal. So but here you coming with some greens and carrots.
Okay.
You know, when
Crazy
to a
ass.
God that demands a blood sacrifice. All right, so right. But you know what? You know what though? But Esau want to do shit this way. Probably he was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna boil this shit, put a little olive oil in it, put a little salt in it, and present it to the Lord. The Lord gonna be like, yeah. No, he not, man. The Lord he wanted a blood sacrifice, man.
Man, no, Esau, his ass was being
You always gotta try to do some different shit, man. Just like for centuries, you been running around with a bald motherfucking face. Got men, grown men, 70, 80 years old as fuck, with a bald fucking face, man.
Right.
Looking effeminate. You know, now I know why, back in the hood, man, back in the day, every time a white guy came around with a bald face, the kids would say some dude that was looking like Chester molester. Because clearly people have been molested and it was by some damn white dude with a bald face, with a Bible and a damn, one of them Catholic garments on.
I think, look, if you got a bald face, that's a frown upon. They call it, like you said, they call it your chest.
Like,
call
yeah,
your
man.
face.
It won't be on your face like a chest.
Yeah, man, exactly, man. Man, why you go around here looking like you be touching little kids and shit?
Like, we used to talk about that when I was a kid. That shit crazy.
You know, as young, it's funny because as young men, you couldn't wait till
the people
start showing up on your shit. You ain't there, yeah. It's coming in.
Right, you combing that little legs. You combing that shit.
Right, the girls are touching it. Ooh,
They're like, oh, your being red. Yeah, bitch. Did you diet? No.
I got one to back up what you were saying about, how you got the mentality of, if I can't have it, nobody can. This is Job 18:4. He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? So that's what he wants. He wants the whole earth to get. That's how I used to use the analogy, man. Motherfucking in a UFC ring, get punched in the face one time. He said, "No, shut it down. Everybody go home. No more UFC. Nigga, you got hit in your shit like nigga, you got in the ring." But it said he teareth himself. Like, hey, he don't care about his own people. He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? And shall the rock be removed out of its place? And that rock is talking about Yahweh Shai, man. So the earth is really the Lord's gift to Yahweh Shai. The kingdom we're talking about is the kingdom of Yahweh Shai that's going to come. So he's not going to get removed out of his place. And the whole earth ain't going to die because that's what he'll tell you. If we fall out of power.
Yeah, that's the way he tells the story.
Yeah.
No, because he wants to make it weed. A matter of fact, man, that brother Kazaki Howard are putting up some fire scriptures, man. I was reading them now. Let's read some of those scriptures, man. But yeah, that's his mindset, though, brother.
I got a precept while you getting that.
Go ahead, brother.
Ezekiel 12:4. How long shall the land mourn and the earth and every field wither? For the wickedness of them that dwell therein, the beasts are consumed and the birds, because they said he should not see our last end. So Esau got that. If I'm going down, taking everything down. Like Jeremiah's like, how long is it gonna happen? This devil know he got to end. How long is he gonna destroy everything else? Because he got to fucking go.
Hey,
Con. Hey, I see the elder on there. Tell him, hey, shalom.
Shalom, brother. Can I say this real quick?
That brother, Bible teacher, South Carolina, Mama Zakwa. Shalom, Swan.
It's funny because when they start kicking them Edomites out of South Africa, their excuse is, who's gonna farm? Who's gonna farm the land? They don't know how to do it. Like, what do you mean? Like, they were just fine before you got there.
They were farming before you got there.
Who the fuck farming before you got there? This shit don't make sense. Like, the whole earth gonna be forsaken.
And you know what, though? That was the first real, now when you think about it, man, the way that they were killing them Edomites over there and doing the shit to them, and they kept it out of the mainstream media. And the only people that really cared was in America was them low-level racist motherfuckers, but nobody was listening to them. And that just goes to show you that Esau, it was even divided even back then. Because if that was happening in America, they would have made a big deal out of it. But it was like these South Africans were getting slaughtered and then pushed off their stolen land. Because I'm not gonna say getting pushed off their land, they were getting all the, all this land that they had stolen was getting taken back from them, and nobody cared. They didn't send them, the Marines or the Army over there, nothing. You know why? Because South Africa is completely not strategic for America. They didn't really need it, man. I know that they have, every nation got a, African, European, or whatever. But way down there in South Africa, if it was more in North Africa, closer to the land of Israel, and other, then they probably would, way down there on the, past the southern equator, it's useless. So nobody cared. Nobody gonna help them. So a house divided cannot stand.
That's right. And also, they know that they're guilty. He himself knows that his forefathers are guilty. They can't go do that anymore. Even now, with America, you know why they can't cancel Chappelle? Because he said the thing that hit him in the gut. He said, the baby killed a nigga, and nobody cared. But y'all want to cancel him over the fucking alphabet game.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, they know they're guilty of that. Right. This, they won't, just like the South African shit, they know that they robbed them from that land. They killed them, they murdered them. They rise up. What can you say about it? This is Nahum 3 and 19. There is no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continually.
Come on, man.
He was like, fuck you, man. No, that's why it says, but it's 31, it says, the 33, it says, you should cease to spoil, you should become a spoil. These heathens, everybody's going to take you fucking down.
And he's calling and read it again, brother.
And these divided Edomites, they trying to stand and cut, they so stupid, delusional. Well, we gonna just take sides well we'll fucking win. No, you going down too, man. You should be called the border of wickedness.
That's right. Hey, the Lord said he's coming back there's going to be a great slaughter in Basra.
That's right.
They didn't say the neutral Basra is going to get passed over. Right. Like the ones that my family didn't own no slaves, Lord. No. Yo, man, you part of this family, though, right?
They all prospered off this system.
Right. They all prospered off this money. With my LA accent, come here, bitch. Come here.
Yes,
Lord, hey, you going to get brought before the Lord, and it's going to get put on you, man.
I'm
calling and bring it again. Yeah, they putting fire up there.
He got this old article.
Nahum 3:19. There was no healing of thy bruise, thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap their hands over thee. For upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continually? The people are happy to see Esau go down, man.
That's it.
They happy to see this country of America go down. They shall rise up suddenly that shall vex thee.
That's it.
Alright?
That's it. This is GMS Quanawatcom. How you doing, brother? In his piece entitled The Effects of the Lack of Food, The Conquest of Famine, Chapter 2, W.R. Ackroyd states that people suffer from persistent clamor for hunger during a famine in his authorial. He precisely states that it basically the obsession with things to eat. In this late stage of hunger, the victim will sleep for long hours and wake up and concentrate only on his growing weakness and ways to get food. Normally, honest people are willing to do anything to get food. Along with their willingness to break their normal morals, people also become indifferent about the welfare of others. Cases have been reported where mothers have snatched food from their starving babies and fathers have fought over scraps of food with their sons. And I'm pretty sure if you go into this, they'll start breaking it all down. Well, we know what we were reading here in the scriptures, man. When you pine away, when you sit there and pine away, that's that waiting and wanting to God damn it, I'm hungry. And you see fucking Daishiki on the block with that kept turning your motherfucking down. She fat and thick as fuck. Your ass gonna go rape her ass and eat her ass. Literally, man. It's about these women gonna be eating their kids. These kids gonna be eating their parents. All right. These kids gonna be eating their grandmothers. And then you know how many grandmothers and grandparents are raising up these monsters. Yeah. The scripture said you're gonna raise up monsters, man. These are monsters now, man.
About 3-4 years old, pulled out a gun.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, little shorty was talking the whole time. He had his hand in his pocket when he walked up on the woman that was recording. And his whole man, you see that demon came out there.
What's your grandma?
He said, "Where's your grandma?"
He said, "What's your grandma?"
Yeah, grandma pulled out a gun and pointed it right at him.
It's
She's like, "Wait, hold on."
He's like 3 years old.
And she cut two camera. He pulled out like a little 25. Wow. And the whole time he was holding like he knew what he was doing. And when he pulled out that gun, his whole voice changed.
Where's your grandma?
His whole voice, that demon came out that girl.
Damn. But this is
I don't know.
what she do to him. I got 6 to 5. And I'm starting that. And I was doing this that which I have not done. And whereunto I will not do anymore the like because of all thine abominations. That's it. Therefore the father should lead the sons of the midst of thee, and the sons should lead their fathers. The Lord just go ahead, brother. The Lord said they're gonna eat. They gonna eat. They're not gonna be one to eat what they gonna eat. They eating people, man. First they're gonna eat Fido. Alright? Then they're gonna eat little feet, your cat, your fucking pet boa constrictor, your goddamn it, your chinchilla.
Right, and hold on, but a lot of dogs gonna be eating people too.
That's it. That's it.
Right.
And these animals you gonna have to use, man.
You're gonna have these people who, you know, who won't have, they love their dogs and not gonna be able to feed them no more. And they gonna let their dogs go.
Right. And
You're gonna have packs of dogs out there, and they literally gonna be eating people. Like you watch that dumbass Israelite chick take that shortcut in the field, and them dogs followed out in the field, and all they found was her remains.
That's it.
Right?
We as Israel went through this. We went through the siege.
Yeah.
That already happened. And we suffered. We went through our rights and we ate the leather. We ate the animals. Then our people ate their fucking children.
Yeah.
The Edomites got to go through this. In the kingdom, you're not going to have to eat your own damn children in the kingdom, man. You know? No, you're going to go through this shit, man.
That's it.
They're going to get them curses.
That's it.
Therefore, the Father, therefore the Father shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers. Now execute judgments in thee, and the whole river of thee will I scatter to all the winds. The Hebrews got to go for this, man. Even the scatter to all winds, someone's going to sell you to the Sabians. You got to be sold to the fucking hands of the Hebrews, man. You got to get everything we went through. Leviticus 26 mentions the curse of eating your fucking children. You're going to have to go through that, man. So you fucking went through it. Hey, I'll be with you. If the shit what they say on McDonald's is true, they eat that damn children right now. They don't push it right now.
What they doing it? What they doing it when they take these injectables? When they take those injectable fluids and venoms, they got all kind of fetus cells and shit, man. All right, and all kind of shit, bro.
All the food we eat.
All the food is defiled.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, like we stay in Chicago, we stay right next to Lake Michigan. Who really know how to fish? You know, a lot of these people, especially the eaters too, they don't know how to get a stick attached on the ground or got some string, you know what I mean, to throw it in the water or cast the net. They don't know how to do nothing like that. But they got a big body of water that contains a damn near endless supply of food, man.
Also, those
crazy.
those chemtrails that has dry blood in it. It has barium and all that other shit, but they be spraying dry blood over the. It's a whole ritual, man. They done fly into a pentagram.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is Looks like
I was gonna get a precept.
All right, I'm just going to hit some of these on the comment board. The Wadla said, Sirach 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods, man. Right? And when you sit there and you put these systems here in place, thinking your ass is going to be good, just like we said, we can sit up here and prep all motherfucking day, but you are not. Matter of fact, when someone get it in Joel, the 21st chapter, and the fullness of this sufficiency.
I got it.
Then there's also another one that goes with what Campbell said earlier, how they basically everything that they stacking up is for us.
I got it.
Right?
I got it. It's Luke chapter 12.
You said you wanted Job 20, right?
Fullness of its fullness is either 21 or 20.
Yeah, I got it. Job 20 and 22. It is the fullness of its sufficiency.
What verse you at?
22.
Chapter 20. What, chapter 20?
Job 20, chapter 22.
All right, go jump up to verse verse 15.
Okay. Going to the next page. I mean, next section. All right. He says, Job 20:15. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again.
Thank you for all the gold you've been collecting. Thank you for all the palladium. Thank you for all the jaspers and the amethysts and all the mines you've been mining, all these precious things from out of the earth, because we're going to reclaim all that shit. Go ahead.
His gift was a temporal gift.
That's it.
And,
He got it to himself.
and it's and we're at the end of it now. Basically, he got to cough that shit up.
That's it.
Like a damn wide receiver that gets the ball, and then he get ball, and he get coughed that shit up.
Yeah. He got popped right on the cut after he just secured it.
Right, you caught it, one hand cold, thought you was cold, brought in, turned around, and then got left.
Right, that ball,
That's
Esau,
Esau,
man.
Yeah.
That's Esau, man.
And it was in the touchdown area. Go ahead.
And
The both sides.
he got knocked back out of the tent.
But he did that, and then they did a whole return on that shit. Nobody on the field.
I'm gonna take it one deeper this is not going to football now. Jack Taylor got popped, he got people paralyzed after they hit.
And give him the fucking.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Dude,
dude. Go ahead, brother.
Both sides shall cast them out of his belly.
All right, now jump on down to verse 18.
Okay.
It's in the points.
That which he laboreth for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution
everything.
So he said, wait. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. That means you're going to lose all your shit. It ain't going to be like what we did to Egypt, where we just took some shit.
of it, no.
All right, we taking all your shit. All right. Why? The verse 19, Salaki, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor. We supposed to been really started this shit, man. All right, because he had violently taken away an house which he built it not. All right. Verse 20. I'm just going to the point. Verse 21. There shall none of his meat be left. Did you hear that? And none of his meat shall be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency, after he tried to think he's getting the culmination of setting this bullshit plan up, shall he be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, and that's the laborers. That's if you go in the word the wicked there, right? God, it'll go. This the laborers, man. It's not actual wicked words. All right. Laborer, sufferer, workman, ones who are toiling. So all these people you're gonna starve it on out. These people who busted their ass and believe in your dumbass system. Them patriots, man. Wait till them patriots really and these militias get together, man. You're gonna see some motherfucking carnage, man, and they're not gonna show no fucking mercy. These motherfuckers wear the black American flag outside their house, which goes back to Confederate days, was saying that if you come over here, we are going to die for what we believe in. So know that. You better be prepared to kill us because we're prepared to kill you. These motherfuckers got that shit on their cars, on their fucking trucks, on their fucking Humvees, and their motherfucking houses, man.
Yeah, some of these guys, they are not playing, man. They ready to go. You see, anybody's pissed off, and basically, they just waiting for the. And once the first shot is fired, it's over. Right?
They say they're going to stand on it.
They just had some MP. They just had some MP in Europe. I think a great
stabbed,
and they called it an act of terrorism.
And now they're starting to give all the MPs security detail now. Because if you go back in Europe, I used to live in London. I walk right past Downing Street, where their equivalent of their premier, their president live. You can't call. I'm like literally, it's right across the street. I walk right there. You can't do that to the White House. It's a fence on top of back and barriers and shit. Over there in Europe, you can be on the bus, on the tube, or in a restaurant, and you see an MP, premier, whatever, and they were more. They didn't hide from their people. You know what I'm saying? And they relatively was untouched. All right. Now they're reaching out and touching somebody.
Yeah. Well, it's so much unrighteous policy being decreed, man. You know, that people are starting to react.
So what's that movie where guys were hunting down supporters this and that reasons?
That sounds like quite a few movies. The one recently. Yeah, they were the one with that little blonde chick, the big breast in it at the end. That's a good ass movie. And basically everybody on it had said some sort of negative comment on the internet towards something. And yeah, so these elites were, what was the name of that goddamn movie?
They slow down the movie stars, news reporters.
Nah, none of these people really famous. But it was the one when the people got gassed, then they woke up and they were in the middle of a field with a crate. And they opened the crate and there was weapons in it. And as soon as they grabbed the weapons, they started hunting. They shit down.
That's supposed to be like
And they were actually somewhere in Europe.
The red skirt, the mockingbird.
No,
That do sound like Hunter Games. That's the same
it's
premise.
called the Hunt.
The Hunt.
The Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
It's called The Hunt. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
It's all similar.
You can see it.
But it's similar.
That's them putting it out there. They put it out with it.
Yeah, they put it out there. Basically, everybody that was involved in that had made a comment that offended these people because they exposed something. They were whistleblowers. They were whistleblowers. Right, they were like, this is some bullshit, this is a lie. And then they were like, oh, did you not say something? Because they were all trying to figure out why the fuck were we here? Why us? Because they all had said something, or, made a comment or something. There it is, man. And it goes to show you that Esau's really going to do things like that. Bring it out, bro.
This is Revelation 18, basically earlier I was saying how Esau gonna give everything up. Right? It says, reward her, Revelation 18:6, reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she filled to her double. So here it is, Esau, he robbed us, so we're gonna double rob him. We're gonna take it. He killed us. And that's why he's gonna get the judgment. Ultimately, he's gonna get exterminated after he served his punishment, man. Because he literally is trying to exterminate the Israelites. What's double of trying to exterminate somebody? Extermination.
Yeah, it's gonna be so brutal. All within the law, though. Nothing unlawful, but it's gonna be so brutal. Bring it out, then I got one.
Luke chapter 12, verse 16. It says, he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth it's like plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to store my fruits? And he said, this will I do. Will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, so thou hast much goods, lived for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required.
So say all that, stocked all this shit up just for you to get smoked by the Lord, man.
Now you get to look at it all and then get none of it.
Because of that pride, man.
Very well.
You looking at the gold, polishing it all.
And that was his security.
Yep.
He felt secure in that.
Because he trusted in his victory.
Right. Trust in whatever it is, whatever you got, your strength, your riches, your stockpile, your whatever, and not putting your faith and trust and leaning solely on Yahweh Shah.
But somebody couldn't do it anyway. That's why Rothschild said that gold is God.
He has the part of blessing, which carnality is. He got everything physically. He don't have the spirit. The spirit is what's going to last enough.
Right.
That's the reason why we're going to have the kingdom forever through Yahweh Shai.
And when that, when the laws, when this word get put on our inward parts, this is Proverbs 23 and 8, when it says, the morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up. It said, and lose thy sweet words. One more. It's Job 10 morsel. He only got his morsel. Right, so that's something. And he think that he bought. Like, hey, look, man, what we're going to have, what Jake is going to have in the kingdom is going to be the Taj Mahal together. Right? This is Job 20 and 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. God shall cast them out of his belly. So everything they have, he gonna cough it up and he gonna throw it all up.
That's beautiful.
You done filled your pockets only for them to get it checked in.
That's right.
You're right. You filled your pockets. You filled up your suitcase and you walked out the bank and you walked. As soon as you open your trunk and put it in, that was Big Brody. Jackpot, nigga.
Well, I got pretty simple.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Ecclesiastes 2 verse 26. It says, "For the Most High giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good in his Most High."
Read that again.
Damn. This is heat and come with that Ecclesiastes right out.
This is Ecclesiastes 2 and 26. "For the Most High giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before the Most High." This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. And that's why Esau's vexed. You know, Esau, he knows he's going to give up everything. While he's creating all this chaos, he's trying to chase immortality. That's why he's coming with all this other extra shit. Transhumanism shit. Because that's one of the ultimate riches is
Transhumanism and super soldiers.
Right.
And all this is to try to keep himself in power.
Right.
And that's it, because he wants to transhuman himself
Right.
and have these super soldiers to protect him and keep him.
Right.
That's right. They show you that in that movie, Jupiter's Ascending. She said, we have this big universe, what is more precious? You humans, she said, y'all, yeah, she said, time. She said, you humans argue over petty things. She said, we pretty much own everything. She said, well, what's more precious than all of this? Time to enjoy it, because they can't enjoy none of it. Exactly. Because, you know, you do that 90 years, you get old, you can't do shit.
What's my son? This is
You get to the point where your body, you can't even really have sex with it.
Right.
You know, so you got ass and titties all around, you can't even enjoy that.
Can't even enjoy it.
He said, our lives just but a vapor, we're just here for a moment. And so let's live it up. And of voluptuousness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what they hope to do, what they've been doing is just passing it on down and set it up for them and theirs because they know reincarnation.
But they showed you that in that movie too. Like, it was all like the Brassics, it was all different, and it was all Edomites. Yeah. All the
elite high people, Edomites, of course.
The ones who ran the universes, they was all different families of Edomites, of course. And what they would do, but actually speaking of the babies, they would basically grow planets, and then after the population reached a certain point, they would kill them all and take the essence,
the life force,
and make the serum that they would make found the youth. Yeah.
Wow, man, and telling them themselves.
Pretty much
hold on, read. I'm waiting on that Ecclesiastes 10 and 8. Then bring out what you got, Pops.
Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Right, and so the Lord is now that's reached up to the heavens, man. And so the Lord is now Esau is being. Matter of fact, get that lamentation. Go ahead and bring out what you got. Now the Lord is making an inquiry on what you've done, man.
This is Isaiah 60 and 4. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All things gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentile shall come unto thee. When you look at that fear, when you look at that word fear, it's like you're going to be in awe. Because you're part of the tribute. You come to the door, and not, we here to bring your tribute.
Right.
You got the wrong house, man. They got to be dead. This is your cut. Oh, shit. Run that. Put it in the barn back there. I'll make more room. Just leave it out in the field. I'll figure it out.
This is Ezekiel 28:4. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten riches, hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. Thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches. Thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God. Right? I got people think, oh shit. jump real down. Somebody get that, what was it, Ezekiel
28,
28.
28.
And finish, because it has a couple more little, we're going to fuck them up. Huh? Yeah, just to finish that part, because it jumped down, I'm trying to,
Okay. Thou hast Ezekiel 28:18. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuary by the multitude of thy iniquity. By the iniquity of thy traffic, therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, and shall devour thee, and I will bring thee.
It pause it right there. See, it says that the iniquity of the traffic was. So what the scripture is making very clear is that Esau, his traffic has been illegal and ill-gotten according to the laws of the Lord. Everything he's got is ill-gotten gains, man. Somebody can grab that too. Go ahead.
And there's certain things that ain't supposed to be trafficked. There's certain things that ain't supposed to be sold.
Which is what making it illegal.
You don't sell. Yeah, you don't sell somebody. You don't sell Israelites as slaves.
You don't sell someone else's land.
Yeah.
You don't sell someone else's property, and you definitely don't sell someone else's heritage. And they've made a marketplace of everything we just mentioned.
Anything can be bought. You can buy semen. You can buy fucking ovaries. Fucking body
Buy somebody else's babies.
Yeah, that's like
somebody read something?
And don't necessarily mean they sold them to you. You took them.
Yeah.
All right.
You got something about this?
Well, I feel okay. Let me see. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuary by the multitude of thy iniquity, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore, when I bring forth a fire in the midst of thee, it shall devour thee, that will bring thee to ashes.
So he's going to destroy you. He's going to bring you to ashes. Y'all all falling down.
Ooh, read the last part. That's the best part.
I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth, in the sight of all them that behold.
So, hey, right in the so hey, look, it says, and that's why I say, blessed is he. You see the downfall of his enemy. And we want nothing more.
That's right.
We all want that. All right.
This is James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that come upon you. I can hear Alex Jones right now. You guys is out. You know what I'm saying? I can hear all these other patriots.
Blood pressure going on. This dude they have a heart attack.
Somebody like this walk up and put on this thing.
Check. Yep. You see, your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. That's the reason why a lot of these patriots and these left people on the contrary to Esau, their comfortability is starting to go. They're getting scared. They're starting to reality.
That's why that guy was complaining. How he been talking about this shit for 10 years.
Right. And your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be in witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which you kept back by fraud, crying. And the cries of them have reaped and entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, the Lord of armies. All right? Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth. And I just keep seeing Wisdom of Solomon. Read Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. Get the essence of Esau Edom. All right? It have been one time. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of Yahweh, Yahushua. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. So the Lord has got us, and he's bringing us out here, and we see every single prophecy just ringing and singing, and just, there's not one.
We're the only ones that are actually happy and excited about all the chaos. Well, everyone else is freaking out. We're happy about it.
That's it.
All right? Because the Lord said it would tarry, but wait for it, it would not tarry. That's it. And so now it's here, man.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 23. Yeah, mighty wind shall stand up against them, like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall waste the whole earth. And evil dealings shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty.
Ooh, wow, that's a beautiful scripture, bro. So matter of fact, one last scripture. All right, then run that one again. That Daniel's 8:25. I'll be sure. Daniel's 8:25. As I said, Daniel's 8. It's 8. Right.
Daniel chapter 8, verse
And
25.
through his, you got it?
Yeah.
And through his policy also we shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Right. So through craft, which means witchcraft, wickedness, unrighteousness. He's caused himself to prosper and get wealthy this way. All right. All of the guise of peace and safety and good for the people. Good for your pockets, bad for the people, bad for the water, bad for the air, bad for the ecosystem, bad for the animals, bad for everybody. Marma. That's the Hebrew word marma for that fraud. That's that deceit, treachery, false guile, deceiving, feign, subtly, treachery. And he's being and the thing is that the so-called white man is being looked at in that way. Yeah. He's being looked at as treacherous. Is it? All right, go ahead, bro. That's why it says when they cease to deal treacherously with, when you cease to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with you. That's what we're here. Oh God. It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, when he shall be broken without hands. He'll hear his ass beat, have no power to stop him. Go ahead, brother.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 23, it says, yeah, a mighty leg shall stand up against him, and like a stone shall close the door. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and evil dealings shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty.
There it is. He's gonna fuck you up. He says, with ill dealings, he's gonna mess you up, man. Alright? He's gonna bring you low. Alright, so with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory
To the Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekhabanash.
Kwam Yasharah.
Stop making this delicious, easy to make cherry cake. What about the